Hey yo, what's popping everybody? I'm back here with another reaction. Drinking coffee by the way, bro. You know, for these reactions, I'm gonna be doing like a couple of reactions. I'm gonna need a lot of energy. I've got a lot to talk about. Y'all saying Roman Reigns is getting stale? Get the fuck out of here. Get the. I'm just gonna be reacting to the worst lies in WWE today. We're gonna be looking at the worst lies, and you know where this
Hulk Hogan's worst lie happened when The Undertaker wrestled
none other than the Golden Goose himself.
and the plan was for The
Golden
Undertaker
Goose.
to
Go over. I'm gonna win the championship.
Hogan was not happy about losing his
Wait, so this is a video by dude. I'm sorry if I'm gonna say this wrong. I think it's Filana. Am I right? Yeah. Filana, not Pilana, bro. Filana. Yo, he definitely needs to actually is it okay? And actually, I might be offending him, bro. Let me just react. Bro. Let me just see what's going on. The worst lies, and obviously we gotta start here, bro. We gotta start.
This tombstone almost got Undertaker fired. You see, Hulk Hogan's worst lie happened when The Undertaker wrestled
None other than the Golden Goose himself.
and the plan was for The Undertaker to
Go over. I'm gonna win the championship.
Hogan was not happy about losing his title. In fact, before the match even happened, he got in Taker's head and said,
I'm really nervous about taking the tombstone. I got this bad neck. I was like, I'll take great care of you. I don't need, you don't need to worry.
and then when we get to the match, Undertaker gave him
My tombstone on the chair. Boom.
Fitz,
As soon as
simple.
my knees touch. Oh, brother. You got me. I'm like, oh.
When Undertaker got to the back, he overheard the
The MTs, they're checking him out.
Yeah, bro. And you know, it's real when Undertaker like tries to like react to that. Oh, you got me, buddy.
Undertaker gave him
My tombstone on the chair. Boom. As soon as my knees touch. Oh, brother. You got me. I'm like, oh.
When
shit.
Undertaker got to the back, he overheard
The MTs, they're checking him out. And then all of a sudden I hear Hogan go, somebody get my wife and kids on the phone.
This is where Taker was stressed out of his mind, thinking that he was going to get fired for injuring Hogan. But it wasn't until
Just
A few
because.
days before I actually got to see the footage. Sure enough.
Ah,
never
bro, it
touched.
didn't even
HBK
touch
and
that.
Bret Hart had a lot of beef during their intense feud in the 90s. Things got real bad when Shawn Michaels said this on TV.
Even though lately you've had some sunny days, my friend.
That was HBK implying that the Hitman was sleeping with Sonny, and this was an evil lie that even got Hart in trouble with his wife. Bret went on to explain what happened with his family.
I didn't pay any attention to it until the next day I went home. I remember my son Dallas asking me with kind of a big smile on his face if I was getting it on with Sonny. Kind of.
What?
You know,
No, that's crazy. That's crazy. The fact that the kid caught it, I didn't catch it. Ah, come on.
School was talking about me and Sonny, and so it really bugged me. And then my wife, of course, was not too happy about that. That's why I said to myself, it's like, he's crossed the big line. This stuff, 'cause he's not talking
who's
about
literally
my
like the
character.
biggest lie in WWE?
He's talking about
Y'all know the first one definitely.
my real,
Oh, shit.
the real Bret Hart, and my family. It's affecting my family life.
This is just another reason why these two absolutely hated each other. Funny enough, it was Shawn who was actually sleeping with Sonny. That wasn't the only horrible lie during this rivalry. You also have the infamous lie where Shawn Michaels lost his smile. Bret dropped the belt to Shawn at WrestleMania 12, and the two were set for a rematch the next year at WrestleMania 13, where Michaels would drop it back to Bret Hart. The only problem was that HBK did not want to do this, so he said he was suffering from an injury that kept him out of action for some time. he showed up to TV, said he lost his smile, relinquished the title, and disappeared. And it is widely speculated from Bret Hart and many other guys that Shawn Michaels just did not want to do the job because he did return only a couple of months later. Working with Shawn in the 90s seems
That's
like it was
crazy,
a
dude.
nightmare because the lies never stopped. Speaking of liars,
What
let's shift
the
over to
fuck? Yo, Brett just spit that shit like crazy, bro. What the fuck? Whoa. Look,
lies never stopped.
Who's-
Speaking of liars, let's shift over to Dwayne Johnson. Back in
Dwayne
2024,
Johnson.
he would return to WWE and went on to create one of the best characters ever, the Final Boss, and the run was incredible. After WrestleMania 40, The Rock said things were just getting started, and the plan was for a feud between Dwayne and Cody, and then after that, he would eventually get retired
Bro,
by
I hated
Roman
this so
Reigns.
much.
It would have been the perfect
Bro,
end.
like, the fact that this dumbass, this bald fraud, bro, he came back after WrestleMania 40. Roman Reigns was nowhere to be found there. He came back and had what do you call it? Like, he issued a challenge in a way to Cody Rhodes that he's coming back for that championship, leaving us hanging, bro. And then goes to NXT, says the most basic nothing, like nix, bruh, nix. I don't know if it was 10 minutes of that promo on NXT. Basically said, let's jack shit, bruh. And then he doesn't even
Rock's
follow
career.
up.
However, Dave Meltzer reported in October 2024 that The Rock was not going to appear at WrestleMania 41 due to his film schedule, and somebody even asked Dwayne if this was true on Instagram, and The Rock replied telling him not to believe any of that BS. It turns out that Dave was not BSing. The Rock was actually just lying. Not only is it evil to lie to the fans who probably bought tickets after that, but his lie also hurt the reputation of Dave Meltzer, and that is not cool. The Rock should have said the truth, or at least wait to see what his schedule was going to look like. I just don't understand why he would lie. Let's move on to another lie that nearly destroyed someone else's reputation, and this one happened in AEW. After CM Punk got into that backstage fight with the Elite, things were never the same in that locker room.
I
It
believe
only got
Punk.
worse when Jack Perry
With my
went
heart.
on live TV and
Heart.
took a direct shot at CM Punk.
Oh, yeah.
That led to another backstage altercation
class.
where Punk put Perry in a chokehold. A couple of minutes after that, and Punk got in Tony Khan's face and told him he was done with AEW. He got fired shortly after, and Tony Khan came out and said that he needed to let Punk go because that was the first time that he genuinely feared for his life. Now, either Tony Khan was lying through his teeth, or the man is just incredibly dramatic, because when the actual footage did come out, it wasn't anywhere near as bad as Tony Khan made it seem. Nobody was in danger, but that lie could have very easily kept WWE from ever signing CM Punk. It could have blackballed him from the entire industry. Thankfully, though, the WWE took a
Chicago!
chance on him anyways, and it worked out really well. Punk has not had any single issue with anyone for 3 years now, which makes you wonder how much of what Tony Khan said
Yeah, that's
was actually
crazy.
true, and how much of it was just a guy trying to justify firing his biggest star. Tony Khan isn't the only lying boss.
I feel like he had to Tony Khan had to defend, in a way. If I'm speculating until I feel like he had to protect Jack Perry and the Young Bucks because they were almost were the Young Bucks one of the founders also of AEW, so it was kind of like they built this thing from the ground together, and then now it's us versus Punk, so that I can protect my dogs. You gotta kick your ass out, But bruh, I feel like, especially when you see that footage. By the way, he released it. Like, yeah, not self. He released it. Like, it showed you around there too. They were actually
on this list because
exaggerating.
there is no greater liar in the history of the wrestling business than Vinnie Mac.
Vinnie,
that
Vinnie.
man is never safe from these kinds
Voldemort.
of videos. And today, we got to focus on one of the biggest and most evil lies ever told in the industry, and that is the Montreal Screwjob. Everybody knows this story by now. Vince wanted Bret to drop the title to Shawn Michaels in Montreal because Bret was leaving WWE to join WCW. But Bret Hart did not want to lose the belt in Canada. Instead, he wanted to win that match and then relinquish the title the next night. And it is worth mentioning that Bret Hart actually had creative control written into his contract, so he had every right to say no. The Hitman knew something was off leading into the match. He could feel it, but Vince looked him in the eyes and agreed to do his finish of the match. Then he secretly went behind Bret's back and told the referee to ring the bell the moment Shawn locked in the sharpshooter, and it was a devastating lie. It was a total betrayal of trust from the man who was supposed to have
That's
his back. And to make
crazy.
things even worse,
That's crazy from your boss, bro. From your boss. I'm crashing out, bro. I'm crashing out on Vince, bro. I'm definitely crashing out. He catching this fist. Backstage, he catching them, bro. What the flip? He catching
Earl
them,
Hebner
bro.
swore on his children before the match that he was not going to screw
Come
Bret.
here.
And even after the match, Hart confronted Shawn Michaels asking if he
Damn.
knew about the finish. And of course, Shawn lied, saying he did not.
He
Everybody
knew.
involved looked Bret Hart in the face, and they all
Yeah,
lied
he
to
did,
him.
he did.
They all
They
screwed him.
tried.
It's a shame because the Hitman deserved an honorable ending to his WWE run after everything that he gave
Damn,
that
that's
company.
crazy.
Instead, he got disrespected and betrayed in every way imaginable. Paul
best
Heyman's
to ever do
line
it.
almost got him killed. Back when he owned ECW in the 90s, the business was not doing well financially. Heyman actually struggled to pay the wrestlers on a regular basis. Some of their checks would bounce. There were even times where he would tell them to call FedEx and ask about a tracking number for their payment. And the worst part is that this man would give them a number like 12. We all know that tracking numbers have way more digits than that. The man was just making stuff up to buy himself some time, and somehow he never really got in serious trouble for it. But that was until he
But
lied.
come on, he's literally like the best talker, bro. What do you expect from Paul Heyman? We all know Paul Heyman is a good liar. That's crazy. I wanna hear
Dreamer. You see, Dreamer was one of the
Dreamer.
most loyal guys in the
Yeah.
entire company, and he believed in ECW with everything he had. But Heyman was never honest with him about the actual financial state of the business.
Okay.
Because of that trust, though, Dreamer turned down a $750,000 contract with WCW and even took money from his own parents to help keep Heyman and ECW afloat. He was told that WWE is backing ECW financially, and Heyman even promised him a big WrestleMania debut that would have led to a massive payday and changed his life. But that fell through, and then Heyman just went ahead and accepted a job with WWE like nothing happened. He left Dreamer with nothing after everything he sacrificed. Dreamer
Yeah,
was
that's
so
crazy, Paul
heartbroken
Heyman, you
by
son of
this
a mother.
betrayal that he was ready to do the unthinkable on live TV, and we were very close to a tragedy, but by the grace of God, Jim Ross called Tommy Dreamer and offered him a job with the company, and that phone call stopped everything. This is just more proof that no good ever comes from lying, and Heyman is lucky that that call came when it did. Cowboy Bob Orton actually got fired because of his lie. In 2006, Randy Orton and his father were in a blood feud with The
Oh my goodness.
Undertaker, and this is one of those rivalries that we still talk about to this day because it was that good, and Bob
Yeah, I
Orton
remember.
was a real highlight in that story.
I remember watching
He
this.
added a lot of depth to Randy's character and made the whole thing feel a lot more personal. However, he got fired because he did not disclose the fact that he had hepatitis C, and there was a moment during the feud where The Undertaker busted him open, and that blood could have easily infected the dead man. When Taker found out about it, he was absolutely furious, and rightfully so. He was so angry about the situation that McMahon had no choice but to fire the Cowboy. You cannot mess around with that kind of stuff. This is someone's actual health and safety on the line. Bob 100% deserves to be fired after hiding something that serious. That is a lie that could have given The Undertaker something to deal with for the rest of his life. And the worst lie in this entire video has to
Okay, I understand Undertaker, bro. Like, yeah, I understand him, bro. Like, heaviest
where
crash
New
out.
Jack threw Vic Grimes off the scaffold. The spot was supposed
Oh,
to
New
see
Jack.
Jack throw Grimes off the scaffold into a bunch of the
Hey, man, I'm left. Bro.
scaffold.
Bro.
The spot was supposed
Huh?
to see
Damn, bro, he bounced on that shit, bro. He bounced on the table and then bounced on the ropes.
Jack
Bang,
throw
bang,
Grimes
bang.
off the scaffold into a bunch of tables below that would have softened his landing. That was the plan. But New Jack was so furious over a botch that happened during a prior match between the two, so to get revenge, he deliberately threw Grimes further than he was supposed
What?
to, sending him into the ropes, trying to seriously hurt him.
What?
Maybe even worse than that. After the whole incident, New Jack lied about it and said that it was just a botch gone wrong. He claimed it was nothing more than an accident, but
Nigga, that's why you got fired. The flip, you try to kill somebody.
years later he came out and admitted the truth. It was not a botch at all.
He admitted the truth. He confessed. Why did he confess, bro? But seriously though, bro, like you can't play with someone's life like that, bro. But it's come on. You can't be doing that shit.
He intentionally tried to hurt Vic Grimes because he
What?
did want revenge, and he nearly caused a tragedy in front of a live audience.
Damn.
This lie is the most evil one on this list because I think Vic Grimes deserved justice for what happened to him. You don't try to pull something like this off on another human being and just get away with it. New
That's
Jack
crazy.
should have been arrested. There's no other way to put it.
To be honest, I wasn't a fan of New Jack. Definitely not a fan right now, bro. I'm definitely not a fan of your ass, boy.
That wasn't wrestling, it
That's
was
crazy.
assault. Anyways,
Yeah,
that
that's
is it for
not
the video, guys.
wrestling, bro.
Thank you so much for watching. Please leave a like and subscribe.
That's crazy, Buffett. Like, how can you even do that, Buffett? Yes, that's not even a lie, bro. He said it. That's not even a lie, bro. That's like attempted murder, Buffett. They flip, trying to kill me. It's crazy. That's crazy. Okay, that should be all for now, Ken. I feel like there is more. What's lie that I've ever told here on the channel? I know a good one. I said I was gonna upload consistent videos of 2K24, my guys. Never did that shit. That's the greatest lie about that. That's the greatest lie about that on this channel. But anyways, gang, I'll see y'all. Deuces, oozes. I'm out.